Um, do you feel like the whole world's against you on Saturday, especially the Big 12?
Boy, what a trap question and going into this one. No, against us, I don't know. I think, again, as much as our season has gone and, the growth that we've continued to make and we need to continue to make continues to fall on our shoulders. And obviously, you got a lot of respect for this TCU team. I think, probably opposite of us in a lot of ways. They've won the moments in some critical situations and have had the ability to finish games. And so, you got a lot of respect for them. A lot of guys that have played or we played against throughout the last couple years, a lot of those guys playing the best football of their career. And, I think when you look at this team, there's a lot of respect for them on both sides of the ball and the way they're playing right now.
So let me try this. If you win, what do you think the Big 12's reaction will be?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Again, at the end of the day, you play the games that are on your schedule. Every game's got a unique meaning to it, and you're getting, for us, getting to the end of the season and getting to a point where, man, you want to be playing your best football. So what a challenge and opportunity to do that.
When you went back and watched, what did you see on those short yardage plays?
Yeah, it's kind of like the moral of the story with the turnovers from the week before. It's like one guy. It's inconsistency, and that's a hard part because those are, and there's some situations of maybe why that happened, but the reality of it is it happened, and I think it's. The hard part is you do all the hard work again. You go on the 12-play drive, you drive the ball right down the football field to get in position to do those things. You make the plays to be in those spots. And then it's the execution in the moment. And so, I think those are – it's not the call, it's not the play. They're all there. It's the execution of it. So, I think those are things that continue to lead to inconsistency, as I've said, I think that's the hard thing about it and the frustrating thing about it. And some of those things are, man, they're taken care of easily with base execution, and we just didn't do it in the moment, and that's the struggle right now.
I imagine when you're watching film, execution pops off. I mean, a guy misses a block or he makes a catch or drops it.
Right.
Generally, not even this year, but in your experience, if there's something wrong that's not execution, what does that look like on film? Whether it's play calling, formations, philosophy, the global or the more structural things.
Yeah,
what does that look like?
I think when you look at that, you see, man, just an inability to function, and again, those aren't our issues. Our issues are, especially, where we're at offensively. It's been the inconsistency, from, taking care of the ball to, man, the ability to, be in those critical moments. And, like you said, is it a drop here? Man, you're wide open. It's, man, you got a great play called and we're not executing. And again, the excuse can be it's youth. The excuse can be some of these guys' first time doing it. And, man, it's over the course of the entirety of the season. You want to see growth. And in some areas, you saw great growth Saturday. You saw great growth in some of those things. And, again, it's still not where we need it to be able to be winning football games. And, I'm not naive to that, and we're not naive to that. And that's something that obviously we continue to press forward and try to find that right mix of it. And we found that at times. We just haven't been as consistent as we need to be in those situations.
Matt, on offensive side of the ball, TCU seems to be maybe as deep in terms of speed and playmaking ability as anyone you faced. I know they're a little banged up who isn't at running back and receiver, but when you look at their skilled players, how would you describe them?
Well, I would say the word is elite. They've got elite playmakers across the board right now, and the tailback position's outstanding. Obviously, a wide receiver, I would say they're as good as anybody in the conference, and probably have one of the best players that I've seen in our conference at the wide receiver position since I've been here. And quite honestly, the key to the whole thing is the quarterback. And, for me, I have the utmost respect for Max, knowing Max through the recruiting process, knowing his family. Man, Max has always been a guy that I've had unbelievable respect for. And you're kind of fired up for him because he's a guy that's kind of worked through hard, to be honest with you, through the last couple seasons. And, you know, for him, he's found that consistency. He's found that he's playing at such an elite level right now. And to me, he's the key that is making all those other things play at a really high rate. So, and they've done a great job. You know, I think they're playing really well right now on the offensive line as well. So, you know, I think those pieces are all in place, and again, playing with a lot of consistency right now.
What does it say about Max that new head coach comes in, he loses his starting job, which he'd had pretty much 3 full seasons, and that guy gets hurt, he comes back and is having his best season?
Well, Max is tough, and if you watch Max play in high school, I mean, he's a coach's son. He was the leader of that football team, really kind of started their revival as a program, in my opinion, of where they are and where they are right now. And man, he is as tough as they come. And, you know, I think that just says you have perseverance, you have character, and when things got really hard, man, Max just kept fighting. And, you know, man, playing against Max for the last 3 years, you know, I mean, he's played exceptional against us. He's a guy that is tough, he's gritty, and they've never been out of the game with Max. He's given them a chance to win every football game. So from my end, just the utmost respect for him and his family.
What are you going to do with your kicking situation on Saturday?
That's a great question. You know, I think we'll get through the week. You know, again, you know, I just think, you know, right now with where we are, you want to have all the facts, and I think the facts I still believe practice is the best place to find, or at least think you're making the best decision for the betterment of the team. And again, that's not indicative or on anybody's character. It's the reality of, man, you want to make the right decision for the best interest of the team. Again, I would stand by both of those young men, and both those young men have done great things for our program and believe in them wholeheartedly. You know, it's just finding that consistency, and the same thing we're talking about in some other areas. So, you know, we'll look at what practice looks like this week and then really try to make the best decision for the team going into Saturday.
Stanley, Lee, and Vaughn, I think, didn't go through senior days. The assumption they'll return for another year?
Yeah, I think that's certainly on the table. You know, all those guys, we've had kind of beginning conversations with all of them before the season started. You know, they really didn't go through, you know, fall camp or the season as a senior. Yeah, you know, I think what all 3 of those guys are guys that, you know, there's high-end belief throughout our football program, character, leadership, foundational pieces that are huge for our program. And, you know, my expectation is as we get to the end of the season, at least right now, all indications are those 3 guys will be coming back. Okay, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.